Well, how's it going, folks? We have got a big day ahead of us. So, today's the 3rd of July. I'm going to be mowing the field out here in front of the bridge today. On top of mowing that, I've got to go grab the smaller tractor from out here in front of the barn that's got the kicker on it. Just as soon as I get done mowing, I'm going to go kick it. Just as soon as I'm done kicking, the cab tractor with the mower and the kicker are going on the trailer and going to town, and I'm going to do the exact same thing in another field. It's going to be a long... So the ground is really starting to dry out pretty good. But if you look at my boots, down here at the gate where I just came through, obviously, you know, it's still wet in places. Now it stays wet right here pretty much all the time, but you know, in the last video that I put up, I talked about that I was going to try and mow, and I put it off. That was yesterday. Put it off to let it dry out just a little bit, and I'm glad I did. I just hope that I've got enough time for it to get dry. There's still a lot of water down in here, but it should be okay. One thing that you can tell a difference between this field and the one that I'm going to be going to after this, this is the field that I fed in, and you know, it got grazed down till it looked like a golf course in here. And I said that it was going to be way behind everything else. It's time for this to be cut. But when we go down to the other field, you'll see all of it's a sea of brown. I'm like a month late. I should have mowed that at the beginning of June, but due to weather and being gone, it just didn't happen, and you'll see a huge difference. And all of that sea of brown, the seeds are going to fall out of that for sure. Now there's a good chunk of this down here that I'm not going to mow. You can kind of see where these big round, like super green places, like right out here at the tip of my finger, right in this area here, up in the very top corner, there's some real bad weedy spots, and I never did get this sprayed like I said I was going to, and so because of that, those weeds are not going to dry. They will not. So I'm not even going to mow it. I'm going to go around it, and then I'm going to come back in here once I get it baled and bush hog everything that I didn't mow, and then spray it before second cutting, because it's cows don't want it, I don't want it, it's going to clog up the baler. Just not even going to do it. But I better get started because I got a lot to do. Off. If you look at the mower, you can tell something's not right here. So it's got a breakaway system, which means if you hit something heavy, it's got a system that lets it break backwards and kind of slip so that you don't break something, which means I've ran into some kind of stick. It's got to be bigger than just a stick, but I've ran into something in here that knocked it backwards. So I got to figure out what's in there and get this slid back. So let's do that real quick. But anyways, I'm going to keep going around this field. It's 11:30, and I don't know. I don't think I'm half done. So it's going to be a little bit later day than I was anticipating, I'm afraid. Still going to go just as fast as I can, because that field down at the corn maze is a whole lot bigger than this one. And it's going to take some time. Luckily, with that one, I'm 5 minutes from my house, so that's handy. But I do have a 30-minute drive down there, and that's 30 minutes not being hooked to a gooseneck. Woo, this is the steep section. Whoa, wrong gear. This is the steep section that I was talking about earlier. I'm going to go a little slower through here. It is going to take me longer than 30 minutes to get there, being loaded. And on top of that, getting all this stuff loaded onto the trailer is going to take quite a bit of time. And I got to kick it before I can go. So, Maddie, I am sorry, honey. I'm trying. So, there's a big rock over in here somewhere, and my dad used to take a fence post, drive in the T-post where the rock was at. Well, one of the cows knocked down that T-post a few years ago, and I never went back and put it back up, and so every year since I've had to do this, just walk around and find it. What I found it back in the wintertime. I was using that calf catcher, trying to catch a new calf, and I went flying through here and caught the edge of the calf catcher on that rock, and it about threw me over the handlebars of the 4-wheeler. Got it finished. It is 12:26. I have no idea what time I started. But is it the best cutting job I've done? No. Did I end up hitting that giant rock? No. It was on the absolute last pass through the middle up here, and I said, you know what? I've made it this far without hitting it. I'm going to go walk this strip of grass one more time and see if I can't find it. Bingo, I found it. All the blades or knives are still good. We're good to head on to the corn maze. Now, I do need to come through here and kick this. In a perfect world, I would have Josh off work to help, and he could kick this while I go on to town and then bring that tractor and kick her down there. But since it's just me today, I don't have that luxury. So I'm going to have to kick this real quick, then jump in the truck, get everything loaded, and go do this again down there. Well, that did not take as long as I thought it would. It is now 2 o'clock. I'm done kicking and have got the trailer hooked up. Since the flood and the bridge being moved, we're not able to drive across the bridge with the loaded trailer. So I've got to pull the truck and trailer to the other side of the bridge, then walk back over, grab the tractor and the mower, and then get that loaded up, and we will be heading towards town to a flat field. Man, I'm excited for that. Well, real quick, just take a pause in the video and flash forward to the future. I am out here square baling, which you're going to see later on. I'm just getting it cut in this video, but something cool happened today that I wanted to kind of pause the video and pop in a picture right here. That man there is Mr. Scott, who has watched a bunch of the videos, and I swear it seems like he's commented on almost all of them. And he saw me out here baling today and stopped by to say hello. So Mr. Scott, I'm glad you did that. It was very nice to meet you. I wish you'd have stuck around to pick some of these hay bales up, but it's okay. I get it. But let's fix a shear pin real quick that we broke and get back on the roll here. But I guess I'll rewind back in time and get back to cutting some hay. I made it to the maze. I've not done very much filming down here. But, you know, if you want to know more about it, just leave a comment down there. We do have this maze open like September, the second weekend in September until the end of October. I'll kind of give you a little bit of facts about it as we're driving around through here. It's the corn, and you'll see it behind me here in just a second. The corn is 4 acres. I'm about to turn by it now, so maybe you'll see it. 4 acres of corn. We do have a haunted maze that we do on just Friday and Saturday nights, and that's in a separate section of corn that we'll get to here in a little bit. It's not corn mazes like you see out west, where there's 15 acres and they take a skid steer and cut in the maze with fancy designs. It's not anything like that. We do have a good design, but it's just a plain old maze cut in with me and my buddy do it with a 0-turn lawnmower, and we try to cut something special into it each year. The year that Dad passed away, we cut a football into it for him. He was a football coach. We always put the year in it, so this one does have 25 cut into it. But it's fun and it's cheap. We try to keep the price down. There's all sorts of yard games that we do. Where I'm cutting right now, this is the parking lot, and then over on the other section that we'll cut here in a minute, that section over there's inflatables and a few different types of yard games like that. But it's a good, cheap thing for families here in the county to come out and do, and we've got people that travel around and come from all over to do it. But we try to keep it cheap for people here in the county because there's not very much to do here at all, period. But there's definitely not a lot to do that's cheap. Woo! Boy, third gear's stout. About threw me through the back glass. It is nice to do something flat, though. I will tell you. Being in third gear, I'm going to have this done before too awful long. The hay itself is not, it's not a huge area that I'm mowing, but it is a decent amount. Last year, I think we were able to get about 40 some bales off of it, and then we square baled it for the second cutting, and we were able to get about there's a deer feeder. What in the world? We were able to get about 140 some square bales off of it in the second cutting. Now we are going to be square baling this time because we do use the square bales for the corn maze. So this year it doesn't seem like we're going to be able to get as many cuttings off of it. I don't think that I'm going to be able to get 2 cuttings off of it. So since we're not going to get 2, I'm just going to go ahead and square it from the get-go, and that'll help us at the maze. It's not going to help the farm out any, but it'll definitely help the maze. So that's all that matters, is that there's some benefit coming somewhere. The one big issue with doing this right here beside the road is people are trashy and throw their trash out over here and litter right in the field. And then 2, this year we did have something crazy happen out here. There's a light pole that's right back there that I passed, and somebody, I think they were drunk, came driving down the road, and I don't know if they went to sleep or what exactly happened, but they went airborne off the side of the road there and hit that light pole and broke it off in the middle. It was broken, but it was not broken like down at the ground. It was broken up in the air. And so their bumper and some other trash got left out in the middle of the field there. But I think we did a pretty good job of picking that up. I hope. You think it'd be bad hitting a rock or hitting a bumper off of a Kia? Might do some damage to the tractor and mower as well. I'm not sure. Never had that happen. Well, I'm going to fly like the wind, bullseye, and get this done. Sounds like Josh is actually going to be able to bring the other mower and kicker down to me, and might even be able to hang out for a while and do that. Who knows? Sounded like he was going to get off about 4:30, and it's 3:16 now, so maybe. We'll see. But he is going to be listening, so that'll be nice. Be very So just a little while ago, I had to stop in about this same area, and I found this that the mower found as well, which is a chunk of that little bumper from the folks that hit the light pole. And it sounds like I did hit something else here. It could have just been it was just a water bottle. Not near as bad as what I thought. But just like I was saying before, there's trash all along the roadside here, and it's worse once the maze opens and people start parking out here. You know, it's a family event out here, so we've got food. We've got a little food truck kind of deal that we have out here, but as far as alcohol, we don't have that. But some folks like to bring their own. And when they bring their own, they like to have it in the parking lot before they come in. And they just kind of throw their junk out in the field, which is pretty crappy.
It's 5:11, and I am probably going to be done in the next, I don't know, hour for sure. Um, I haven't heard from Josh, but hopefully he's on his way fairly soon and can get this kicked. This section over here is real thick. I don't know if you've been able to tell or not, but real thick. But again, if you can see the top of the mower, it's full of seed. All of this brown stuff that you see, it's gotten so tall that it's died, and then once it dies, that seed will start to fall off of it. Well, for cows, you want that seed on there. There's a lot of protein in that seed. And if the seed's gone off of it, then essentially I'm mowing straw. Not really, because there's a whole lot of stuff underneath that tall brown stuff that's dead, but it still has some nutritional purpose to a cow. But the big thing here is we're going to be using these square bales here at the corn maze, and then whatever's left over, I'll end up taking to the farm and feeding to the cows. But most of the square bales that we use here are going to be out in this activity area. We've got what we call the mini maze, which is a little maze for little tiny kids built out of square bales, and it'll use probably at least 100 on that, and they're not going to be useful at all, at least for a cow after that. They just, kids crawl on them and stand on them, and they end up being flat, and the strings break, and it's a real pain in the rear. But they can be taken to Piney and used on that land that we've had cleared after we cut timber. They'll be very useful for that. We do have to use some in our little barn that you see back there behind me. We sell pumpkins over there in the barn, and we got to have some hay to stack pumpkins on and that kind of thing. So lots of places that we'll be using them here. I don't think that we'll make more than what we need. That's for sure. So it's not going to do the farm much good, but it will do me and my cousins some good come this fall. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one here. Like I say, we'll be kicking this. I don't know that it'll be able to be kicked this afternoon. I think it'll take too much time. We'll be out here kicking until 9 o'clock at night, maybe. I'm sure, no, surely not that. But I bet that it'll be at least 6:30, 6:45 before he's here. So we're going to, like I say, I'm going to go ahead and cut this one here. But I'll be out here. Today is Thursday the 3rd. I'm going to take tomorrow away from the farm and away from a tractor to be with Maddie and Lucy for the 4th. And here in Ashe County, while I'm just driving and rambling, here in Ashe County we have a festival that we do downtown called Christmas in July. And that is going to be open. I think they open it tomorrow night for just food, but then Saturday and Sunday it's open. They close down Main Street and have all sorts of vendors and music and that kind of thing. So that's going to be going on Saturday, and Maddie has to work at the winery on Saturday. So I think we're going to go over there and take Lucy around downtown in the morning on Saturday, and then Maddie's going to go to the winery, and I'm going to go get on a tractor and probably kick everything again, I would say. And then on Sunday we'll be round baling up on the river and square baling down here in town, and it's going to be a very long day, especially since I don't know that I have anybody to come pick up hay with me. So, unfortunately, this is going to be coming out when it's too late, or otherwise I'd ask some of you to come help. But I appreciate you all watching. Got lots of more things that we've got to get done this summer other than just hay, but it seems like we can't get ahead due to weather to get any of that stuff done. But, oh, there's some trash. Well, we went over it. It's okay. I will be back on with another video here in the next little bit. We appreciate you watching, folks. See you on the next one. Oh, yeah, well, that didn't go quite as planned. I didn't think I was going to kick it tonight. I did. 7:23. Still going to make it in time for dinner.